everybody. It's Thursday, which is Geli Printing Day, and I am back in the studio. Oh, that's me. A little croaky, and using my cell phone again because I'm not exactly sure what's been going on with my cameras. It's like the third camera setup that has not worked out. But anyway, I'm here. I am going to try and get through this without coughing. And part of the reason I was late is because I was like, I'm going to use some new stencils. You know me, I get caught up on one stencil and I love it and I get stuck using it over and over again. But today I was going to use new ones, so then I ended up, going through my stencil selection and trying to choose one, and that was hard, so it took me a minute. But I do have a few stencils, new stencils I'm going to use today. Let's see, they're all Crafters Workshop, which is one of my favorites. So let me just switch over to the other perspective so you can see it. Let's see. Sort of. Yes, okay. All right, and then this one, I have a thing for alphabets. This is a mask rather than a stencil, which means that the white area that's created, the empty space that's created by the mask is the pattern versus the empty space. No, I have that backwards. Anyway, I'm using a mask instead of a stencil today. Okay, I'm just gonna go get ahead and get started. I have my Bristol, 67-pound Bristol. I have some Paper Artsy, and I have some Liquitex, and I have my 8x10 Geli plate. I'm just gonna go ahead and get started because, that's what I do. That's what I wanna do. Just blob some on there. Ooh, I like that color. Haystack. I literally just reordered all the colors that I'm missing from Paper Artsy, all their new colors, all the colors that have been sold out. They ship overseas, so I wait till I have a certain amount that's necessary before I order from them, and it's a big one. I've got Seth After's new stamps coming in. Really excited. Okay, so that's the start. And remember, I did it backwards because that's what you do. I'm going to let it dry a little bit. So when you let it dry, it's acrylic. So it ends up being a decal. And so the next layer of paint ends up being the glue that glues it to your paper. And then you pull that decal off. So that's in essence what's going on when you pull a Geli plate print. Geli print. So you don't want to rush it before the paint is dry, because then you end up pulling it up. Smudging it around. So it looks like the red overpowered that one. You can kind of see it. You can kind of see the yellow. So let me do that. I'm going to do it again, but with a different color. Let's see. And so that was Paper Artsy red lipstick. This, I managed to get it all over the place. This one is Deco Art. Oh, I need my glasses. Something green. Foliage green, maybe? Anyway. Dabble this on and see how opaque it is, because the opacity is part of what makes something stand out. If it's translucent, it fades and interacts with the background color, so you might lose it a little bit when you do it that way. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to do the same stencil. I'm going to pick up the negative space this way. And now I should have a little bit of a print. I'm just going to print back on top of what I did before. See if I get something a little more striking. Sort of. Yeah, it's okay. Something, it's the beginning of a background, basically. So now if I come in, wipe that off, maybe come in with something a little more interesting. Let's see what I've got. So if I wanted to pick up this peace and love sentiment, this is smoked paprika. That's translucent, so I'm actually going to look for something that's opaque. Pine Grove. This is a cool color. And I'm specifically picking out these words to paint. Don't particularly want some of the other. Now, this is a nice, clean stencil, so I'm going to get a really good impression. I saw something about like pulling the old paint off of a stencil as a print in itself on Geli Arts the other day. I thought it was pretty cool. There you go. So you can see that that stuff in the background is now genuinely a background. It pushes it back. I'm going to pick up a little bit of that, give it a little bit of an echo. Cool. So that might be it. That might be my my stencil for today. I'm using acrylic paint. Those were all Deco Arts or Paper Artsy paints. These are acrylics. And I sell them all here. If you like a particular color, you can come and grab it here. It doesn't take much. You don't really want to mix paint types. So if you're using a watercolor or a, you don't want to use oil paints. Honestly, you just don't. But, all right. Actually, what I have here, you can see I have a ghost print. I'm just going to pull that off with, oh, come on, don't do that. Sorry, it says my video stopped. It had not. Okay, so this is Liquitex, my basics. I love, they're not mine, the Liquitex basics, but I sell them here at the store. They're my first Geli printing paint, and they come in really great colors, and it's a nice price point. And I just covered the whole plate with that color, and I'm really gonna give it a chance to dry. So that it adheres. What I want, yeah, it wasn't so good at print. So that was, I had too much paint on there and I didn't wait not long enough for it to dry. It's a cool color, but now I still have more on the plate that I need to pull off if I want it to be super clean. I am open today and tomorrow and Saturday, so come on back and I will show you where these are. Got good taste. Paper Artsy paint's amazing. So I'm sorry we missed you last week. I was very, very sick. Still struggling a little bit. Okay, so basically I didn't really get anything in the way of a print, though I actually love this kind of grungy stuff, but at least my plate's a little cleaner. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up some of this artistry. So I'm literally just going to do this in a way so that I get the color, the picture. I'm going to try this translucent and we'll see if it stands out enough. It might not. I'm just going to go for this butterfly. It's a very pretty color though, very bright, fun. And then let's plunk it down on top of a nice solid color. So that pink that I pulled did not go to waste. The paper can be whatever paper you want. You want it to be sturdy enough to hold the print. That's the only thing. That's why I like this. It's slightly heavier. Bristol paper. It's got a little tooth to it. You can get this at Kelly Paper. It's their Bristol, Strathmore Bristol. So you can see here, I did get the print, I did pull it, and you can see that it's there, but it's not very bright. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the whole thing where you do the same print over and over again. You echo it, and let's see what it turns out. If I use different paints, let's see what we can pull. Again, I got it, but it's not very bright. So let me think about what I will put down that might stand out. Let's try this yellow. This is a Liquitex Basics. Let's see how opaque this comes out. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they come out translucent too. You can see. Ooh, that's cool. It's not exactly what I want, but it's cool. Let me see, I'm gonna pick up, there's a lot, well, so there's some serious leftovers, what we call a ghost print. I am going to pick it up, and I'm just gonna use some white to pick this one up. You'll see this a lot. People use white as a background color. They consider it sort of neutral. Let's see what I get. Might not get anything. I might have smooshed it all around. Hey Wallace, it's one of the new ones. I literally just pulled it out to use today. It's a Crafter's Workshop. And yes, I was like, I need new imagery, so that's why I pulled it out. I really want this to pull the whole picture, so I'm not gonna rush it. I'm gonna really I'm gonna clean this off while it dries. Really try to get the whole thing. All right. I mean, I like it because I love grungy stuff. You guys know me, I love it. I love like this. But I wanted to get that butterfly, and look, it's still there. It's still hanging out. Let's see what I can do to pick that up. Let's try this one pink color. All right, so I'm just using less paint this time. Let's see what happens if I just use dribbles. And this time I made sure I had a nice stack of paper, so I didn't ever get to the point where I was like, I don't have anything to print on. Okay, fingers crossed I get something good. Ah, there. Well, for one thing, it cleaned it. That was cool. There, that's not bad. I do love this sort of yellow pink combination. It's one of my favorite colors to put together. I also like a little gold in there. Do I have a gold out? I don't. I'll have to remember that for next time. I do love printing with gold. It's cool. All right, so I have this fun little detail here. Let's see what happens if we throw this down with some green. This is limelight again, translucent. Chances are not that it's not gonna really express itself, but let's just try. You can see. So now I'm layering up on prints I've already pulled. You can see. Thanks, Laura. Glad you like it. And I want to say your name's Joe, but please, when you come in on Saturday, tell me if I'm saying that wrong, because I have, yeah, because I'm not sure. But, all right, I'm going to try this blue. This is actually one of my favorite colors. Back when I first started Geli printing, that was almost every single Geli print I pulled had this color on it, because I am a creature of habit. In the end, again, I'm just going to pull this. Let's just see what this looks like if I put it here. Yeah, not bad. Let's sort of cool. It's that whole thing of like the ghost prints. And today I close at 6. The new hours, I need to put it in a newsletter. New hours are 12 to 6. Sorry, except on Saturday. Saturday is still 5. For mental health reasons. All right, so that's cool. I like that one. That turned out okay. I am going to bring in, let's see how this works. And this is part of what's fun about Geli printing, is experimenting with color, seeing what colors work well together. And sometimes a color that you're like, oh, I don't think this is gonna work, works beautifully because it stands out. It's contrasty. So I encourage you to play with your color choices. Now, one element that I'm using here is when when you print over top of each other, if you have things touch, then it creates a cohesive look. So you can see that when I did that, it sort of mitigated the fact that this was sort of floating on the page, and now it feels a little more cohesive. I actually really like how that turned out. I'm gonna do it again with the same little element. And so now I've got, I've got several of the details from this particular little ombre going on there because of the paint that was on here. So I have several details from this particular stencil, and I'm layering them in on top of each other, and so they're interacting now to create a little more of a whole. See? So when you have something that feels a little disjointed, add another layer, one that's a little transparent, translucent. It can really jazz up a piece. I'm gonna keep going with this idea. For one thing, I'm loving how this pink is working. I wasn't sure that's what I was talking about. I was like, I don't know if this pink's gonna look any good, but it does. I've got a little ombre going on because it's picked up this blue, and that's what happens when you, if you keep your, whatchamacallit at the same spot the whole time, your brayer, then you get these really cool interactions. Yeah, see what's going on here? I love it. Love it. I love it. All right, I'm just going to pick up the rest of with this. So now I'm just like throwing stuff down on bits that were just hanging around. I actually might be ready for a palette cleanser. So I'm wondering if I could get a decent ghost print if I were to pull now. There's my ombre. I'm just going to lay it down. Do you see? You see it? Do you see the ombre? I'll show you guys that in a second, actually. I'm going to pick this ghost print up, and then I have to go. Oh my gosh, I have a 11:30 appointment. I'm so sorry. Normally, when I get into the role like this, I like to keep going because this is, this is the magic hour for me with the Geli plate, where, your juices get started, and you're liking what you're pulling, and the colors are working together, and I hate to walk out on it right now, but I do have this appointment in 1 minute, literally 1 minute. Nothing, nada. There's still some paint, so I'm going to use another one of my pieces. All right. Okay, so that pulled it off. I don't know if you could see. All right, so I am going to bow out. This is the print that I was the most happy with. This one was pretty cool too. So this one's a little more cheerful, I think. But in the end, actually, I love this one the most. And I never got to using this one. I never got to use this stencil. Next time. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me today. I know it was a short one, but I appreciate the comments and the questions. And I will do it again. I have a tag to catch up on. I might do that later today. I will have what's it called? Art journaling tomorrow, and I'll do box openings. I'll probably do one today too because I have so many boxes. Anyway, join me later, and hopefully I'll see you at the store soon. All right, thanks everybody.